over a table that I'm going to need for my sermon to share with you this evening. When I preach about Advent preparation, it's something that I like to truly be authentic about and do myself. This year I decided as an Advent reflection I would do a project, sort of try to capture or incarnate my preparations for Christmas in my own strange, I admit, sometimes, way. And we've been trying very much in Advent in our adult form to encourage people in creativity. And I have subjected these poor people to everything from making lanterns to coloring with their non-dominant hand to all kinds of things, just to get us back in touch with our creative side. Because our creative potential is ultimately a playful potential. We hear, even in the book of wisdom, as in Proverbs, as wisdom talks about herself, she talks about herself as being joyful and celebrating whenever God has made anything. And she is especially curious about humanity and is playful and encouraging and inspiring people to co-create. So I use all of that to justify what I'm about to subject you to. Well, first of all, as I think about getting ready for Christmas, there is, of course, for us, the symbols of the packaging of the Christmas presents underneath our tree. Has anyone here yet actually sat down with your family and opened your presents yet, or you can do that after? You can do that later? All right. So, for me, the present itself, the outer packaging, kind of represents to me the part of life we spend most of our existential time in. We spend a lot of time in life going, what the heck is that? What the heck just happened to me? Who the heck are you? Why the heck do I feel this way? Why do awful things happen? Why do good things happen? What did I do to deserve this? We spend a lot of time wondering, what is it all about? What's in there? What's in life? What's it mean? So for me, the packaging itself is something that hides a bit of a mystery to us. We don't know what we're going to spend. And then, first week of Advent, we start hearing about the promises of light. We light these candles in the dark. The prayers don't talk about ourselves as the people in the darkness waiting for a great light. And suddenly, in Advent, we are asked to be people of hope. And we count on a star. Right? That's the first thing we're asked to think about. Assistant, would you please take my packaging? Thank you. And all that we have at first is this glimmer of light. We have no idea what it is sometimes in life we're following. Especially each time we get to a transition in life, we wonder what's next, where are we going now? And that transitioning starts at a very early age. You know, the first time we really can ask ourselves what's going to happen next to us is the first time perhaps we leave home and go to school. If we're lucky, maybe we have older siblings to kind of forewarn us about it. If we're not lucky, we have the kind of older siblings that when we get to school, the teachers go, another one? Another one of those? Yeah. So I followed one of those. It was like, oh, you're nothing like your brother. Now, in our journeys in life, we continue to have moments where we wonder what's going to happen in our transitions. Whether it's thinking about getting married, committing our lives to one another. We're looking for guidance. Maybe we're looking and thinking about a vocation. Maybe we're looking about what should we do as a job. Maybe we lose a job later in life and we wonder what's next. On and on it goes. And we look to God many, many times for a comforting light. It may not always be clear where we're going, but we look for the comforting light. Now, the first time that we hear in history of our faith about this idea of a pageant, of somehow acting out the story of Christ's birth, comes to us from St. Francis of Assisi in 1223. And he is visiting the town of Reggio, and he knows this is a particularly difficult crowd he's going to be with. This difficult crowd is a group of very wealthy people. And how do you preach as a poor person in poverty to wealthy people about what God can possibly give them that they don't already have? in that setting of telling the story, he got together an ass and an ox. So if you look at the bulletin cover, I'm big into images. I'm a full-course anthropologist by training. I throw out as many symbols to you as I can. If you look at that, you'll see the sense of his original creche. It gets the name creche from the French, which stands for a place that protects infants. A crib is how it's translated in other languages. Most particularly in the animal world, I find it interesting that a creche is a group of baby animals which have no parent but are being protected by other adults. A creche is a place of protection from what's precious. So to me, there's something about Christmas that asks us in our reality, in our day, in the midst of war, in the midst of suffering, in the midst of political intrigue, in the midst of violence, Christmas becomes very precious to us spiritually. We are asked to understand and protect the essential message of the birth of Christ, which is that promise of hope, to keep that hope burning. For beneath it then is this holy family and protected place. And what is better for our modern day understanding or symbol of protection than a helmet? I present to you the first ever creche helmet. The first ever creche helmet, its own star, its complete creche and protected place. And just when you thought nothing else could surprise you, here, let me put it on and show you how it works. This is also a very effective symbol for getting ready for Christmas if you have to go to the mall. Or ready for people to get out of the way. Either they're going to get out of the way because you look like a lunatic, or maybe you grab a skateboard as well. Okay? And that wouldn't be complete without... Okay? That's the playful, that's the creative, that's what we're asked to do. We walk into Christmas remembering what our children have reminded us about. Oh my God, how many Facebook pages am I on? But I think that's your patent is, I'm pretty darn sure it's the first and only creche helmet there is, okay? And you guys get to see it. So I encourage you that you, however old you are, 6 or 60 or 106, when you go home and open your presents, remember that the gift that is given to us that is so precious in the life of Christ is really only a symbol itself for each of our lives. To continue, even in the midst of the mystery of the box, so we may feel ourselves in from time to time, to be ready to open it up, be part of the creative process that is offered to us, and know that God has our back. In Christ's name, amen. Sister?